One Savant. I like it. Maybe a shirt or something, I think. Bill, this is not the first time I've heard this speech, obviously, but I'll tell you, I enjoy this speech every single time I hear it. It's one of those speeches that I think the strength of your speech is the story, but more importantly, the character building that you're developing throughout the story. So with that, I know you asked me to look at a couple of things, but I want to make sure that you understand. I think you get that. I think the emotion involved is what makes that speech so powerful. And you've done a really good job as the speech has developed in tying up loose ends, I would say. Kind of how you mentioned how Dee wasn't happy with your comment about leaving a scalpel inside there. I think that's been tied up very nicely. I think your transitions is one of the things that you wanted to ask for. I think that's what I would call the transitions that you're doing really well now, is you're kind of tying up the loose ends. It's not open to interpretation, kind of what that comment was supposed to mean. We don't have to know you to know who Dee is. We don't have to, each stage of the story gets tied up before you move on to the next stage, and I think that was very key. One of the things that I think you do the best on this speech is your vocal variety. There's no chance for us to have a lag. There's no chance for us to get lulled into the story to where we're bored or we're forgetting what's going on. I mean, literally every word that you're saying, I'm hearing. I'm not to alarm anybody, but I tend to zone out some of the speeches. I'm sure we all do that, but I hear every word of that speech, and that wasn't just because I was your evaluator today. I mean, I hear that speech. I want to know what happened to her. I want to know what the next step was. And I think before I was left still wondering, what does that mean when you did that? But I think you've tied all those up very nicely, and that's doing well. Another thing you asked about was the pauses. I think the pauses were all great. The one awkward pause that I thought was there, and the one part of the story that I didn't quite get, was when you were describing him having to go to the bathroom every time that the chore was to be done. I thought that kind of fell a little flat, and I think we were all kind of, I was sitting going, no, that was supposed to be a joke, I know it was supposed to be funny, but I mean, this is an audience that we're here with you. We want them to laugh, and we laugh at all the other jokes, but that one I think we all kind of went, and I think it was just more on how it was said. I think it was the tone. I think it was, I think another facial expression could have helped us really understand. He was that kid that every time there was a chore, he'd have to go to the bathroom. I mean, that might be a little bit different than, I think he kind of ran through the joke, and then the pause was there, but there wasn't the necessity for the pause at that point because we weren't really laughing at that point. And one other thing that I think as you head into the speech that I want to make sure that I think is a very important part is your visual aids are huge. I think seeing that tattered ball, I think, is a very important thing. And if it was a smaller group and we just kind of see it here, I think people are going to want to see what that is. So when you're speaking to a larger group, I